The UnPodcast is brought to you by Emma. Get more from your email marketing.
You're amazing.
This is going to make a great highlight reel.
Just the way you are.
And go.
In a world where QR codes kill kittens and customer service is an oxymoron, one podcast has set out to make things right. This is the UnPodcast with your hosts, Scott Stratten and Allison Kramer.
Welcome to the UnPodcast. I am auto-tuned right now.
I can't hear the difference.
You can't?
Nope, I can't.
'Cause you're perfect.
He's not going to sing. You're not going to sing. Thank you for listening to the UnPodcast.
Right.
Thanks for being here.
I have to lose the auto-tune.
Scott has some stories
Do I?
about stuff.
It's still going.
I can't hear any difference.
Am I still being auto-tuned? I'm
No, that's off.
You
Are you
sound,
sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It never
I'm
sounded
hearing it
any
now.
different.
No, it's in my headphone. I can still hear it.
Okay, you're delusional. Just go. You're crazy. You lost your marbles.
So the number one question we get asked for the show is, how can we help the show? What can we do for you?
Literally,
Scott,
no one has
Allison?
ever asked us that question, ever.
You've given almost 200 episodes
Scott and
now.
Allison, what can we give back?
What can we give back to you? And we'd appreciate a review.
We
Go
would.
ahead to the iTunes or the Stitchers or whoever else you consume this show and let them know what you think.
Only if it's good, though. If it's bad, just keep it to yourself.
Be honest. Just make sure it's 5 stars. On the show today, a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, tons of stuff. A lot of fast food. Are you hungry?
Brought to you by Emma. myemma.com/unpodcast. I'm still auto-tuned. I'm just going to put it out there.
I just hit my mic.
It's still there.
You sound the same, baby.
Nope. I do not. It's in my ears. You're all messing with me. myemma.com/unpodcast for all the email marketing needs we got your fix. First one's free. Every time. So we asked the unmarketing world, because I saw something on a friend posted about seeing somebody filing their nails on a plane. So we decided to ask our unmarketing following on the Facebook,
Yes.
64,000 strong, about wanted to know what's the worst thing you've witnessed on a flight. Ready?
And they did not disappoint.
They did not disappoint at all. Here's the highlights, the best ones out of this. Andrew Carlson says, when they asked for beverages, the guy sitting next to me asked for a water only just to pull out his toothbrush and toothpaste. He brushed his teeth, used the water to rinse out his cup, and spit it back in.
Ew, gross.
Then asked me to hold it while he went to the
No,
bathroom.
he didn't. Oh, gosh.
I told him to go rinse it down the sink.
That's gross.
By the way, the picture that we have up right now is the best.
I know. It's somebody switching like the fan on or turning the light off with their bare toe.
It's
It's
amazing.
gross.
And impressive. Tanis, our friend Tanis Miller, a
Yeah.
redneck mommy, says, flying to Chicago on a red eye, and the person next to me kept elbowing me awake. Turns out he was just jostling me every time he leaned over to clip his toenails.
Ew, gross.
Oh.
What's wrong with people?
But I'm not done. Rihanna Reed says, the guy behind me who stretched out so far his naked feet went under my seat and touched my leg.
Ew.
I can still feel it. And she posted a picture of it. Our friend Sherry Lynn Buchanan said, I had a guy reach over and touch and scroll on my iPad while I was
No.
reading it about 5 years ago.
No.
I've also had a guy stand up, take off his belt, and undo his pants. Tom Thompson says a guy took off his shirt and washed himself down with the warm towel the attendant had given out. Why don't I do that?
That's impossible. That's crazy.
Oh, and then Matthew Wilhelm rounds out our highlights here with the in-flight movie. The in-flight movie was Giggly.
Oh, no, Jiggly.
The Kevin Smith one, yeah. That was the best one of them all, mine.
I had, I think I've probably told this story on the podcast before, because my all-time worst flying experience was having two brothers sitting beside me who were doing, do you do chew? What do you do with chew? Like that tobacco that you chew. They were chewing tobacco and sharing a water bottle that they were spitting in. And the whole flight, they chewed tobacco and passed the spit bottle back and forth between them. And it was heinous. It was the grossest thing I've ever seen, and definitely the worst. And I don't see how you're allowed to do that on a plane. But But that was the worst thing I've ever had. And I've taken a lot of flights. That was my worst.
And where was I at the time?
You weren't on that flight with me, actually.
Okay.
But if that's a story, you want to tell the world, then we can share those stories about you sitting in first class while I'm suffering.
Well, we were both on the plane. One of us was in first class, one wasn't.
Yeah.
And it's fuzzy who was who.
It wasn't fuzzy at all. So yeah, what's your? Do you have a worst? Do you have a horror story?
Oh yeah, I was. I think I was probably 19. And we're coming back from visiting friends in Banff.
Okay.
So Alberta, beautiful place, and two of our friends had moved there. So we were flying back, and it was one of the big planes, and it was a red eye coming back from Calgary to Toronto, and I was in the middle, and there's it was like a 3-seat, a 5-seat, and a 3-seat, so it was a giant jet. And so I'm in the middle, and we're watching. This is back when they had the big screen at the end of the section, and we were watching Seinfeld actually, and so just sitting there minding my own damn business. And I look up in the corner of my eye, and this really, really tall woman was walking. It looked like 6'3" or something. Ominous, kind of walking down. And she was about 10 rows up from me, walking down the aisle. And from the second she came into the section, she locked on me. Okay, so this is the time I have the hair like I do now. I have long hair, but I wore it down then. I had long hair and a shifty goatee, not like I have now.
Yeah.
And she's walking down, and she's locked on me. And I'm pretending, I'm half asleep, but I'm pretending not to make eye contact now because now I'm scared.
Yeah.
Just gazed and walking. And a flight attendant was kind of helping her, kind of pulling her hand a bit. And she's hugging a pillow really tight at the same time. And she's coming closer and coming closer. And then in my peripheral, I can still see her, and she stops at my row. And then she takes the pillow and starts to beat me mercilessly with a pillow, yelling, "It's Jesus! It's Jesus!" And beating me without mercy with an airline pillow.
Oh, that's an amazing story.
And I look at the flight attendant like, "Are you going to stop this from happening?" And the flight attendant's like, I don't know what to do right now.
It's your problem now, sir.
Then she keeps walking away, and I'm trying to figure out what just happened.
Yeah.
And if you thought I was Jesus, why would you beat me with a pillow?
Why would you hit him with a pillow?
The head flight attendant comes out to me, looks at me, and tries, without laughing,
Yeah, it's funny.
to say, "Will you be okay, sir?" And I said, "I'm fine." And he said, "Would you like me to contact the police so when we land, you can press charges?" And
For
I'm
what? Like for someone hitting
I'm
you
like,
with a pillow?
"I don't think that would fly."
Yeah.
We then get off. As we're exiting the plane, she's behind us. And all I hear is, "Get me to Jesus!" So I got off a plane faster than you've ever gotten off it, just to meet the RCMP, which is our federal police in Canada,
Waiting for
saying,
her.
"Are you the one that was assaulted, sir?" And I said, "No, I got hit with a pillow." And I kept walking. So yeah, I've got a story.
You have a story. Well, so our first story is from go.com, and it's a good story. It says,
Our second story.
well, the first one wasn't really a story.
It was the greatest story I've ever told.
Okay, our second story today is from go.com. It says, airline employee personally delivers cancer patient's luggage. A Southwest airline employee who personally delivered lost luggage to a passenger's home in the middle of the night is being called a guardian angel by the woman she helped. Sarah Rowan, 27, a customer service agent in Southwest Pittsburgh office, was answering customer calls the evening of July 23rd when she got a panic call from Stacy Hurt, who had just flown from Nashville to Pittsburgh on a Southwest flight. Women get, oh gosh, that's terrible. Why didn't you edit that? I'll show it to you. Sorry. There's, you know how sometimes there's ads on these articles and we edit them and like the ads get taken out? So this ad didn't get taken out. And so the words in the middle of this article that I'm reading says, women get the last laugh after a man books 6 dates in one night. And it's just randomly right in the middle of the article.
I missed it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
I
It's
usually
fine.
cut it. My bad.
Hurt 46.
You won't believe what happens next.
Hurt 46 changed her reservation to a direct flight in order to make it home in time for her monthly chemotherapy appointment the next morning. Hurt of Bridgeville, Pennsylvania, was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer in 2014 and remains on maintenance chemotherapy indefinitely. Her luggage remained on the previous flight, so she changed her flight. Her luggage remained on the previous flight. And her connecting flight was rerouted back from Nashville because of mechanical issues. So she panicked because she needed the luggage, obviously, has a lot of items that she needs for a chemotherapy appointment, which happened to be the next day. And so she calls in, she's in a panic. She said inside her luggage were medications she takes for the chemotherapy side effects, as well as personal items that she wants to have with her, comfort items mostly. So it was important to her to have them. And so on the other end of the call, so what happens a lot of the times, we see people calling into airlines in a panic. A lot of the time the person on the call is just like, whatever they can do to get rid of the person, right? And so she said that was not the case this time at all. She said she was sweet as can be. Things happen that are out of control and frustrating for people, but for someone who's going through so much, she was really patient and kind, and she appreciated it so much. And so she tracked her luggage. Rowan told her she would continue to track the luggage and keep her posted. And so she just gave her the information, which in itself would be enough, right? It's just enough that she's getting an answer. But once she looked into it, she found out that she only lived 20 minutes away. And so she waited for the luggage, and then she hand-delivered the luggage to her house.
It makes you all warm and fuzzy.
It's nice, right?
I like them.
I love stories where it goes that kind of extra step. Like having somebody on the other end of your call that's respectful and kind, that should be I wish it was a given, that it wasn't something we needed to talk about.
Yeah.
But she didn't have to drive the luggage out to her. And so I just love when they take it kind of that step further and are really kind to people and use it as an opportunity to be kind. So good for you.
Wonderful. From Yahoo.com comes to us an article about how Waffle House's hurricane response team prepares for disaster. Now, there's no secret that I'm a fan of Waffle House.
He is a fan of Waffle House. He's not lying.
I will rent a car for doing a keynote at a conference. And the conference provides me with a car service that will pick me up in a nice sedan or something with little bottles of water. But sometimes, especially in the Southeast, I will choose to rent a car.
Just for Waffle House.
It's my Waffle House car. I love it. You said in the world of business, especially in consumer products, you can have something good, fast, cheap. Pick two.
Absolutely.
That's the rule.
Yeah.
It's all three. Good, fast, cheap. I know you're biting your tongue right now.
I don't like... But I love what they're doing. I love this story about Waffle House. I love that you love Waffle
Sometimes
House.
when you're a couple, you'll need your own things.
Look,
Mine is Waffle House.
I love that you like Waffle House, and I love that you'll rent a car to go there. I think it's great.
Right.
I don't share your love of Waffle House, but
Allison loves brushing her teeth. I love Waffle House. We both don't do
that
either.
pretty much sums up our personalities.
Bingo. Thank you. So,
And
but
our
this was really
dental care.
cool. This is really cool. So, not only do I love Waffle House, and like everything else is a little surface. Obviously, I feel better about eating Waffle House because of the good they do. It's
Yeah.
like Starbucks. I love Starbucks. I love it because it's every airport I travel to. I'm a big flat white fan.
You are.
Yeah, I like consistency across travel. It's one of the nice creature comforts of doing it. And then we talk about all the great things they do, which is great. But I don't know what they'd have to do negatively for me to stop it. So,
it's not why you love Starbucks, but
Right.
it makes you feel better about your choice.
when I eat my delicious smothered hash browns at I think I
Waffle
said
House.
hash browns at Waffle House, and I get my bacon. I'm a simple guy, just bacon, egg, hash browns. Don't even need the waffle right now. I'm a runner. I don't need the waffle. I'm trying to make it healthy, and everything else on that plate's healthy. But I also feel good because of their employment practices and how they treat their employees and the opportunities they give, and love it.
And then they did this, which is so cool.
So one of the ways the FEMA measures hurricane damage is by the Waffle House Index. Waffle House, a popular. I'm not going to explain what it is. You better know what it is. Has a unique ability to operate solely on gas if necessary. So a closed Waffle House is often tantamount to disaster. And while we won't yet know how Hurricane Harvey will fare on the index, the attitude at Waffle House across Texas has been calm. The company's staff has been preparing for months. We have our own special disaster teams and generators waiting to be shipped, said one Waffle House employee in Galveston, Texas. We open up until the city makes us close, probably later on tonight. As soon as it's over, we'll be right back open. Waffle House's resiliency is a great source of satisfaction for people. The Galveston employee told Yahoo Finance proudly, when nothing else is open, I'm going to tell you the Waffle House is open. Over the years, FEMA Administrator Craig Fugate noticed that this phenomenon following hurricane damage and developed the Waffle House Index. Green is full menu, yellow is partial menu, and red means there may be no Waffle House left. Quote, Waffle House stays on when the wind's blowing. They never close. Philip Strauss is the FEMA's private sector liaison. They have a small footprint. They're easy. And if these little stores are going out when it only takes a few people to staff, that's bad. Hurricane preparation for many can be a scramble, but for Waffle House, it's a game of chess with military-style strategy and execution. Before a storm hits and even before hurricane season, the company makes storm checklists for each location, meets with local authorities, and educates new employees, though many have been through 15 hurricanes. We've already done all that, Waffle House's Director of External Affairs, Pat Warner, told Yahoo Finance. Right now, we're getting jump teams ready. A Waffle House jump team consists of a small team of restaurant operators from outside the hurricane zone. These employees swoop in at the first possible moment after a storm to restore service and get things open. Typically, after a storm, demand for food is high and functioning restaurants are in low supply and things get extremely busy. There's a jump team outside of Nashville ready to go on Sunday. Jump teams are also ready in Louisiana, said Warner. Then we can deploy from the main office some teams that may or may not go, depending on severity. One of the reasons why these jump teams are the key to the chain success is because employees may not be able to work if they're dealing with their own hurricane damage. It does to help bring operators from the outside, so it relieves local employees so they can focus on family. They don't have to worry about their restaurant at the same time. During Hurricane Katrina, Warner said Waffle House worked beyond its restaurants to provide temporary lodging for its workers, put tarps on employees' roofs, and shipping in hard-to-find essentials like diapers and formulas. I just love this, everything about it.
The jump team idea is really smart, because there was part of me when you were beginning to tell the story, part of me is thinking like, well, that's great for everyone who needs to work at the who wants to eat food from the restaurant, but what about the people who work there? And then so they relieve that idea with that, no, you don't have to worry about it. We know you need to deal with your family, so we're going to have this team of people who come in from outside the area. I think that's brilliant, because that way they're taking care of their employees and they're taking care of the public, which is great.
I've been to more Waffle House locations than I can count. When I see one, I have an emotional reaction to it. I absolutely love this place, but I love the people.
Yeah.
I love that they all have their own personalities. They all can show
as people do.
But I mean, like, they're allowed to do them. Like it's other than when you walk in and they all say welcome to Waffle House.
Yeah.
There's just a different vibe to them all. It doesn't feel like it's all one.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Or contrived. Right.
Thank you. Contrived. And I always sit up at the counter. I always sit up, and whoever's right there, I'm right beside the grill. Like, if they need an extra waffle guy in there, I could hop in. But their employment practices too for people who are who've gotten out of prison, who are out on the outskirts sometimes of employability a lot. They believe in that, and they believe
they should really sponsor our podcast.
Local sourcing, and they believe in and by the way, none up here where we are.
Yeah, we don't have it in Canada.
They're not drivable, because if they were, I would be going to them all the time. So it's probably good they're not here. Phew.
I may have your solution in this article.
Boom.
Want to hear it? Okay,
Yes.
So it's from the consumerist.com. It says Domino's self-driving delivery cars means having to retrieve pizza yourself. So maybe you're not ready to hop into a driverless taxi cab, but what about having your pizza delivered, or perhaps your Waffle House delivered, by a self-driving car? Domino's and Ford have partnered for a test in the Michigan city of Ann Arbor, intended to gauge just how interested customers might be in having their pizza brought to their house by an autonomous driving delivery vehicle. One hitch: getting your pizza via one of these robot cars is going to require a little more work from you than if you had a human driver bringing the pizza to your door. Under the test, randomly selected customers will have their pizza delivered in a Ford Fusion autonomous research vehicle. After the order is placed, customers will be able to track the delivery vehicle through GPS using an upgraded version of Domino's Tracker. When they receive a text from there, and then they'll get a text message when their delivery arrives. At that point, customers will have to walk to the car, punch in a special code, and retrieve their pizza themselves. Sure, delivery by self-driving car likely means you won't have to tip the driver, but it also suggests you'll probably have to put on pants in order to get your hands on your pizza. What do you think about this? I want to know.
Yeah, this is the problem. If I have to put on pants, what's the point? Why would I do this?
Yeah,
I just don't like it.
They're just trying to test it, I guess. It says they're trying to test whether people will do the extra work of having to go out to the car. But how much of that is just like for the novelty of it? Like, if we could have, let's say we are going to order pizza tonight, and we asked the kids because we wanted to, and we're like, yeah, of course we'll walk out to the car to get the pizza from the robot car. Cool. And that might be cool a couple of times, but then eventually isn't like, remember when we used to have the pizza brought right to the door? How great that was. Like, it just seems, I remember telling, I remember telling my grandma like when we first started seeing like grocery delivery, like those things. And I thought it was so cool. Like I could get groceries delivered to my house. And she looked at me, she's like, Allison, we had all our groceries delivered to our house. And it was like, you think it's this
We
like
had the milkman. We had
her
the groceries. Yeah,
she's like, we ordered the groceries. They came to the house. And like, they were a well-off family. But I mean, sometimes we think like it's technology makes it cool. This robot car is going to deliver my pizza. And then you're like, you got to go out and get the pizza.
Yeah.
Before it was better. Like, I don't understand. So I guess it's cool to test it out, but.
Don't you guys remember? Do you guys remember? I know you're younger.
They are younger than we are.
The grocery stores had like the conveyor belts, and they put stuff in
I
the
remember
baskets,
that.
right? And they roll.
I love those baskets.
Anyway, it rolled out, and you pulled your car up.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's half of what they're doing now. Like the new mobile pickup. I'm like, we're doing that before.
I used to love that thing, and you push the car.
And then the young whippersnappers would put the groceries in your trunk for you.
And then you went to the drive around, and somebody else, not you, because I clearly remember, my mom would pull up the car, pop the trunk, and a nice young lad who should give $1 or $2 would come and take it, and you had a number, and put your groceries in your car.
Yeah.
It was better and more convenient. I don't understand. She was so funny. She laughed at me. Allison, we always had our groceries delivered. I'm like, I thought it was cool.
Yeah. No,
apparently not.
Yeah. Now the flip side of it, we had there's a story in there somewhere. I can't remember what it was.
Did I miss something?
No. It was just me remembering something in there.
Okay.
Because we've been using Skip the Dishes.
Yes, it was in there. We didn't do it
for a while now. It's like Uber Eats. So it's a food delivery company that services a bunch of different restaurants.
Do you want me to read this message?
Yeah, well, so the context, we've used them a bunch, and then we decided, well, we're going to try, I think it was Five Guys, and I think that was the restaurant we had ordered from for this individual night, Five Guys Burgers and Fries. And we ordered it, and it's a little farther away from us, and then you have to get the driver, and the driver has to click on accept and all that stuff. So anyways, I knew it was going to take like 45 minutes. I knew because it was that distance away. It wasn't around the corner.
Yeah.
So I knew it would take a while, and so it did, and it took a while, which was fine. It was within the window anyways. And I'm okay, and I took it, and we got it. It was great. We warmed up the food. It was a little bit warmish, not hot, so we warmed it up. It was fine. And then I got an email and this is the email here.
It says, Scott, we noticed that Thursday was busier than normal and some deliveries ran past what our customers may have expected. We value your time and wanted to follow up on your order number. With a token of appreciation, we've added $5 in Skip credits to your account to be used towards your next paid online order. Cheers, Skip the Dishes team.
And this was within the hour after we got the food. Like, so and it wasn't me complaining.
No.
I didn't tweet and say, still waiting. I didn't do any of that stuff. It simply sent us a credit. And I thought the proactive customer service, I love that style of that thing, because now it made you want to use them more. So when something goes wrong, we've said this for a very long time. You can't change the fact that things are going to go wrong. Okay, you can't. It happened. What are we going to do in the action? Now, are we going to wait for people to complain? Or are we going to... And the thing is, this is not a high-ticket service.
No.
Okay, their delivery fee, quote unquote, is $3 if you're under $20. It's free afterwards. They make their money on a percentage of the sale off the menu, so the restaurant pays them 20 or 30% of the menu that they're delivering to you. And the reason being is you're reaching a customer that wouldn't come into your restaurant otherwise, and you don't have your own delivery ecosystem set up. So this was not asked for, but it made me just a little more reassuring of the service than if something does go wrong. It was like using Lyft when we were in Orlando, and the guy wasn't very good, and I complained because he went to the wrong place, and then he kind of long-hauled us, and then we were driving too fast, and within 6 minutes, they were back, gave credit, did everything. It was just like, okay, good. It makes me a stronger advocate for these companies, for sure.
I like that they're using the information. Like one of the things that's cool about the app is like they're tracking, right? So geolocation's on, you can see where the person is. So a lot of the times, like companies they're craving information. We want to know this information. So here's a company that has exactly the amount of time it should have taken on average to make that delivery, and it's a little bit longer. And they're actually taking that information and using it to be proactive and build a stronger like bond with the client, which I think is fantastic. And it costs them $5. Like that's not that much money, and that way they have
what's it worth?
Ecstatic customer
and goodwill, right?
Yeah.
So here's another company, the attempt of coolness. This is from whatstrending.com. Excuse me. KFC launches an insane-looking training VR game. It says, we don't know why KFC's apparently official and very real training virtual reality game is haunting as it is. We don't know why it has a disgusting coughing Colonel Sanders threatening you with a lifetime of imprisonment in his unholy basement lair if you cannot properly fry his chicken. We only know it's here, and it's legitimately surreal to witness. Damn. The game has a strangely haunting vibe to it, and I'm wondering how effective is it at actually teaching people how to make the Colonel's chicken. We're going to splice in a clip of this later of the audio of it, because I tried out the virtual reality training of how to make the Colonel's chicken.
Yeah.
It is scarier than it.
Is it a real training video?
It is real.
So it's for people who go to work at KFC. This is a video
and it's not a training video. It is a real virtual reality training tool.
Why don't you take it for a spin? Brian, it takes a minute, but I'll fast forward time for training purposes. Anyway, this is VR. I can do stuff like that. As the clock ticks, the easy way becomes harder, and the hard way becomes easier. And as the calendar records the weeks, months, and years, it becomes increasingly evident that the hard way builds the foundation of trust that cannot be swept away. Oh, look, it's ready. Pressure fried chicken perfection.
So the video you watch and the sound that you just heard is somebody with surround sound headphones on, and their hands are being watched and making this chicken.
And it's terrifying.
Terrifying.
But it's real? Like they're using it?
Yes.
It's not just like a
terrifying
social media trick or
They're
something.
making the Colonel be really old.
Colonel
and he's
is
joking
really
like,
old.
and you can never leave, right? It's just like, and he's hacking up a lung while talking about the hygienic way to make
it's
chicken.
an authentic experience of what it's really like to train.
It is. It's like, it says, do you feel comfortable eating chicken that seemingly was created and taught in a PlayStation 4 game? But next time you bite into Colonel's original recipe, just imagine the dystopian hellscape walked through to make it. It was scary. Like, I'm all for virtual reality. You know, I can't wait until we drop our virtual reality Scott app, where I'll come keynote in your living room. Or bar mitzvahs, whatever you got. Can't afford the real thing, get the fake thing. But this was scary.
It's weird, I think.
This went too far to be funny or cool. Just make the video. I get it. You know, it was, and it's clunky, and just have a manager teach you.
Why don't you just learn from the people working at the restaurant you got hired at?
Because you don't have to scale this.
It's weird.
No, because it's like 3 steps, by the way. It's not that hard to make the Colonel's chicken, I realized, after watching the video.
How complicated did you think it was? It's deep fried chicken.
Oh, it's a secret recipe. I don't know if you got to open a vault.
It's not a secret recipe.
And then 3 guards come. It's the Colonel's recipe. Allison,
why do we have 2 KFC stories?
Do you know the Colonel's recipe?
Yeah, I'm not making you deep fried chicken voluntarily.
Maybe. You know
it's not good for you.
Wait, now do you know how the caramel gets inside the caramel bar?
There's another KFC article.
Yeah, back-to-back Jacks.
This is from prnewswire.co.uk, and it says, Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC, today became the world's first brand visible from outer space after unveiling a giant image of founder Colonel Sanders in the Nevada desert. The Colonel Sanders... Astrovertisement, which can double as our made-up word for the week.
That actually is that is one of the made-up words somebody submitted.
Was built in Rachel, Nevada, the UFO capital of the world, just off the world's only extraterrestrial highway, the infamous Area 51. KFC's new look contemporizes one of the most recognizable and cherished brand icons in the world and spans all visual elements from logo to restaurant design, advertising, packaging, uniforms, and more. The Colonel is truly a global icon, and we want everyone in the universe to see KFC's new look in the future. The new logo depicts Colonel Sanders with his signature string tie, but replaces the classic white button-down suit with a red apron. Oh, big change. Big change. That's crazy. So they made a giant thing. It says it took nearly 50 designers, engineers, scientists, including astrophysicists, because I'm sure they had nothing else to work on, climate change and everything. They're just sitting around making kernels. Architects and other professionals working nearly 3 months to conceive, create, and execute, building the world's largest logo. I'm so glad all these brilliant people are working on giant logos.
Yep.
It says from face to space took more than 3,000 hours to create from inception to launch. Like, we don't have problems in the world. We're making giant KFC logos.
I don't think brand marketers are going to solve the world's problems. I think it's kept them busy. I'm glad
they're astrophysicists.
Well, you got to make it right.
Stupid. What was the made-up word?
The one, it was like the Astrovertisement. That was Dave Vernon put it. Submitted.
Oh yeah, Astrovertisement.
Yeah. So we're gonna give the a
Yeah,
free
he
book
deserves
to Dave
credit.
Vernon because he submitted
Astrovertisement.
it, which is a press release for it. But it's true. It was seen from very, very high up. But we have a couple made up words that we really got to cover them because.
Want to do another one?
We have to do.
Two?
Yeah. Let's.
Three?
Don't make any sense. Don't mean no offense. It brings laziness. What is all this craziness?
We're gonna do 3 more.
All right,
We're
ready?
gonna give away 4 books.
Don't
So here we go. So we just you can't stop playing this to Wayne. So Astrovertisement was the one we just did.
Yes.
Thank you for Dave Vernon. The next one we have, if Adam's paying attention because he has to guess it, is Foodie Call. FOODIE call. Well, Wayne, go first.
Late night food.
Late night food.
I guess, yeah.
Adam, yeah.
Adam.
Adam is he's favored.
I
on
like
this one.
late night food. That's a good one.
So Foodie Call is a date just to get free food.
how bad are things?
Like a booty call, but it's a foodie call.
How bad are things that you have to go on a date to get free food?
So much effort.
Yeah,
A lot of
right?
effort, right?
So
Yeah.
much effort.
But would you do it if you?
No.
You
Would I
met,
do it?
would
Are you
met,
serious?
You met somebody and you're like, I don't really like them much, but I know the steak's coming.
Yes, I'm still on a foodie call right now. That's why I stay with you, because I like food.
Oh yeah!
It's crazy.
I do feel like a piece of meat.
There's no way people do that. It's so
I
much
couldn't
work.
make that much small talk if I tried.
No, so much work just to eat food.
So Foodie Call. I didn't put a name down beside it. So whoever sent this into us, let us know.
You have permission to yell at
Yeah,
us. We
yeah.
don't remember.
All right, the next one is Funcle. FUNCLE, Funcle.
You're one of those.
Fat uncle.
Fat Uncle. Oh my God!
Not fat.
Wait! Allison says you're one of those, and Wade says Fat Uncle.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, snap!
Inadvertent burn.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's a fun
You're a
uncle.
sasshole.
It's a fun uncle.
A sound hole. That's what he is.
Fun uncle. Not fat.
Oops.
Fun. Woo!
So Funko, we don't get out of it. It's a Funko, even though my nephew hates me.
Do you have one more?
I do. Boommate. BOOMMATE.
I don't know what that is.
Mate.
Who wants to guess for Boommate?
Did Kathy leave?
She might have.
I don't have anything for that one.
Is Kathy in there with
I
you?
think Boommate's weird.
I don't see her.
What's Boommate?
Adam? Boommate. I don't know. He's gone too. I was just struck out today. This is a millennial that rents a room from an unrelated baby boomer.
So that's weird.
Oof, that's just
Yeah.
way too much
So
effort.
by the
Does
way,
that need a made-up word? Like, are there enough of those?
Funkel was from Alicia Tedford,
Yeah.
and this one was from Jonathan Wilson of Boommate.
Jonathan,
specifically,
you know what I
millennial.
want from Jonathan Wilson? I want to know where that word comes from. Like, is that sourced? Has that happened?
I've seen it. I searched it.
Really?
A few articles. Yeah, it's a new thing now. It's millennials running from older people.
We're gonna
Don't
start,
want that because the older people own the apartments. That's
But
not
I
a
think-
thing.
no,
we're
I
gonna
think-
start fact checking these.
Yeah,
That's not real.
isn't that generally the
Funkel is actually Fat
Wait,
Uncle.
But young people generally rent places more than older people, and older people would own the places. So that's not a new thing, is it?
But it's a new term, Boommate,
An unnecessary term.
or a NERM.
Unnecessary words.
Don't have no place. Don't. All right, forget it. It's already off the rails. No question this week.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Get out.
Be sure to subscribe to the podcast on iTunes and visit theunpodcast.com. And remember, friends don't let friends use QR codes.